Hello everyone, my name is Andrei Dima. I'm a professional travel photographer that loves reviewing lenses, and today I'm glad to review this inexpensive and super lightweight 50mm f1.8 lens for the Fujifilm X system on my X-T5. Those of you that follow the channel know I love reviewing cheap lenses because sometimes they can surprise us when compared to their price. This lens I am reviewing today is $110 and it has autofocus. I think this is the cheapest autofocus lens for the Fujifilm X system, but is it any good? So this is the Yongo 50mm f1.8, an APS-C only lens. It was designed specifically for APS-C cameras. You can tell that from its compact size. This lens was released for Sony cameras a couple of years ago and now for Fujifilm. This version may not be the exact same lens and it may have some new coatings. Let's start with build quality. The lens is made from plastic, decent quality plastic. The mount is surprisingly metal, well, aluminum. I expected it to be plastic like the XC line from Fujifilm. You know how I like to complain about lens hoods, but this one for the price is of good quality. Look, no stitching line like the one on the expensive Fujifilm 33mm f1.4. Also, the lens cap is pretty nice. The lens is not weather sealed in any way, it is normal in this price range. If you want that, you should check out the 50mm f1.8 Pro from Yongo that I reviewed recently. That lens has image quality as good as the Fujifilm 33mm f1.4. Sadly for Fujifilm users, there is no aperture ring, but this lens is cheaper than the XC line and those don't have aperture rings either. The focus ring is also made from plastic and it turns smoothly. The filter thread is 49mm and the minimum focus distance is 45 cm. Not the best, but it is okay. More on this later. This lens weighs only 134 grams. I can barely feel that there is a lens mounted on my X-T5. The lens structure is 8 elements in 7 groups and it has 7 diaphragm blades. Almost forgot, this lens has also an USB Type-C connector for future updates. The autofocus for photography is snappy and accurate. It sometimes hunts in contrasty situations, but otherwise it is pretty good, as you can see here. The autofocus for video works in steps like most older Fujifilm lenses, so it is usable in some situations. I expected it to be worse, like the one on the XF 35mm f2, but it is actually better, on a lens that costs only $110. Cool, right? Now let's talk about the image quality. So I tested this lens on my demanding Fujifilm X-T5 and its 40 megapixel sensor. A bit unfair for a lens like this, but the results are actually good in my opinion. I do think this lens will fit 26 megapixel sensor cameras better. The lens has pretty good details in the center starting from f1.8. As you can see here, there are plenty of details, but the image lacks a bit of contrast. Also at f1.8 you can see some chromatic aberrations, a thing I expected from a lens that costs only $110. The corners are a bit soft. If you stop down to f2.8, the overall image improves. More contrast and details in the center and the corners look better, but still a bit soft. Once you stop down to f4, the image quality overall is very good. The corners are not perfect, but they still look good. You need to stop all the way to f8 to see great image quality in the corners. But this is not a landscape lens, so most people won't mind the corners' image quality. The good news is that this lens has decent image quality starting from f1.8. Again, I expected it to perform worse. If you put this on a lower megapixel sensor, you are going to be very happy with the results. This lens is aimed at beginners and people that want a super light lens for travel photography and long hikes, and I think Yongo have a winner with this one. Now let's take a look at how the image quality is at minimum focus distance. At f1.8 it is a bit soft. Stopping down the lens to f2.8 improves the quality, and at f4 it looks very good. Overall, this lens is a great option for beginners and enthusiasts that are looking for a lightweight and compact 50mm lens. It is bright with an aperture of f1.8, the bokeh looks pleasing, the image quality is good, and the price is unbeatable. I really enjoyed using this lens and I want to thank Yongo for sending me a copy for review. If this video was helpful, please subscribe and ring the bell to get notified when I release more lens reviews. And if you want to support the channel even more, use the links in the description. See you next time.